We are the tribe from the north, we're brave and we're bold. Defeating our rivals never gets old. Making our way to the Big Sky Conference. Watch out, 'cause here comes the silver and gold. Whoa, whoa. This is Tubbs at the club for the Vandals of Idaho.
Hi, how are you guys doing today? It's nice snowing in Moscow right now. A little bit of snow out there right now. I'm doing good. It was another good series for the women this time around. They won both games. Two different styles of games, but hey, either way, it was a nice weekend for the women. Nice. It was a good weekend of games for the women, to say the least. Man, I don't want to talk about that, but let's just say it was not pretty. But as always, ain't nothing like cracking a Montucky cold snack, an ultra refreshing light beer born in the majestic Big Sky country. The best part is when you crack a snack, you're giving back. Montucky cold snacks donate 8% of all profits back to local causes, even right here in Idaho, supporting organizations like the CW Hogs, Idaho Food Bank, and Idaho Food Bank. Yeehaw, that's freaking awesome. Montucky Cold Snacks, the light American lager for powwow rippers, gator wranglers, pony riders, and badass do-gooders. Visit MontuckyColdSnacks.com today to find out how to get ya ass some snacks. Now, whoops, I forgot something else. Kind of moving along to Around the Bar, brought to you by Hughes River Expedition. First game off from Thursday's games was Idaho was in control the entire because I'd say from wire to wire, Idaho was able to control the tempo, was able to dictate how things were going to happen that game. It was a butt whipping. They beat Portland State, and they beat them good, and it was a good game. It was good to see. They were just like, it showed it. The other one thing I kind of have in my side notes, was it just showed Idaho does have the talent to, even if a key contributor's on the bench, they can play with. Is on the bench getting some rest, foul trouble, or hurt, Idaho will always have someone to come in and fill the spot. I know one example that I noticed was even when Beyonce was on the bench on Thursday's game, Haley Christopher was able to come in and fill, I won't say void's the right word to use, but fill the spot that Beyonce plays, and play, although not like the same type of player, fill and give a different type of offensive and defensive strategy to Idaho when she's in the game as compared to, say, Beyonce. It was another good thing I saw was just it was like, I think I mentioned this just a little earlier, but it was just no player on the team played over 30 minutes, which was nice to see. Get the bench players, to get the more, I don't want to call them bench players, get the more, yeah, they are bench players, get the more inexperienced players some more reps, so as if to say someone gets hurt or another COVID issue with the team arises, they'll have players available to play that'll know how to run things and contribute well and lead them on to victory. Now back to these for a second. It was a great game. Idaho had 22 assists. Let me bring that back up. 22 assists. Idaho out-rebounded them 52-40, 18-13 on offense, 34-27 on defensive rebounds. This theme for this weekend was Beyonce had this is kind of her week of games where she was the star player for Idaho, and where I think she had the most. She what's the word I'm looking for? She contributed the most in the most meaningful way to others. Not to say others didn't play well, but just her plays, I think, made a huge difference to the team in the games they played. She was on Thursday's game, she had 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Gina, my pick to win Big Sky Player of the Year. Gina Markson only had 6.7 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 rebounds. It was a different game, but it was just like, even if say my pick to win, even say they have different, even if one of Idaho's key players kind of has a lower scoring game, someone else is able to balance that out and bring everything. Balance it out and balance things out evenly, and not have to worry about just trying to find someone. And back to that for a second. It was just nice to see, as I think I might have said before, the fresh Sydney Gandy playing more time. I think when Gina's gone, they still have another year together, Gina and Sydney, but I think when Gina is gone, it'll be nice. She'll be a junior and be able to fill in the role. She'll be able to play. She'll be that next big-time player for Idaho once the players above her leave. It's good to see Idaho have a full team and have everybody play together. Just have a well-rounded victory where everybody gets to play and just show the depth of this team, show how deep the team is. Idaho's not just 3 players and a bunch of three players and a bunch of nobodies on the team. It just goes to show that they have they're just a well-rounded team. Now, before moving on to the Thursday's game, Saturday's game, I must tell you about the Around the Bar is brought to you, as I said earlier, Around the Bar is brought to you by Hughes River Expedition. Needing summer vacation plans that even COVID can't ruin, there is an option right in your back door. Venture into the largest protected wilderness in the continental United States for the ultimate form of social distancing. Hughes River Expedition has first-class trips on the rivers in the West since 1976. Enjoy a multi-day trip down the Middle Fork of the Salmon River Canyons, the Selway, or even special trips to one to see the Perside meteor shower. Camp on pristine beaches, hike amazing trails, spot elusive wildlife, soak in beautiful natural hot springs, take in the history along the river, and let HRE handle everything else. Hughes River Expedition is vandal-owned and ready to take you on the vacation of a lifetime. Taking bookings now through the 2023 season. Don't miss out, and check them out at hughesriver.com or give them a call at 800-262-1882. What are you waiting for? Find out what it's like to grab a paddle, catch dinner, and ride the bull all throughout the Gem State. Call them now at 800-262-1882. That was a little clunky. Sorry about that. It was this game was a different one. It was bring up my notes for this one as well. Sorry. First thing before starting out the review for this game, credit to Portland State's coaches on making adjustments and it not being another Idaho blowout win. The game, although Idaho did beat Portland State by 11 points. 11 points. It was a lot closer than the scoreline suggested. The final scoreline suggested. It was I think I said earlier, credit to the coaches for making the adjustments and giving giving Idaho a real good fight in this game. I honestly kind of thought after the first and second quarter, it was just going to be a close game. Maybe Idaho lost, but they, as I wouldn't say I'm trying to be, I consider myself to be super positive super positive guy. So when it comes to Vandal Athletics, so sorry if I'm not your cup of tea when it comes to being overly positive. It's just who I am as when it comes to Vandal sports. Yeah, it was a closer game than the coach expected, and I think he in Coach Kennedy, I want to say his name is, or the Portland State head coach. I caught just a couple seconds of his post game interview with their play-by-play announcer, and he even said it was closer than the scoreline was. Like they were in it till the very end and had a chance to win it at the very end. I think it was tied 62 at the final seconds, and Portland State had a chance to score at the buzzer, and they missed the shot, and it just went to overtime. And as you can see on the screen right now, if you're watching or not, Idaho won 75-64. It was a different type of game. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Like, it was a different kind of game. This was, like I think I said earlier, it was just a 180 to Thursday's game. Idaho was down, but close throughout. They'd make small runs, maybe make a 5-6 point lead, and then Portland State would come back and tie it or take the lead. And then for another one was Portland State would also go on those 5-6 point runs, but then Idaho would come back. So it was just, and I'm certain I've said this before, games like Saturday had shown me just Idaho can play teams that play more of a slower tempo. I wouldn't say slower they different tempo than Idaho wants to play, but they can play like it and win these games. They have the players to do it, and it showed today. They also still want to try and play. Coach Newley and his staff will still want to play the games that they play the style that they want, but they've showed me time out again and again that they can make the changes, make the adjustments, and play a different style when needed. And this game, though, they did also rely on their, I wouldn't say they relied a lot on their star player. I wouldn't say star players, but big time contributors to make the plays when needed. Beyonce, Gina Markson both played 45 minutes. Gabby Harrington played 42 minutes. They've relied on their players to make the plays today. And I know I tweeted this out. Idaho's players, they made the plays today for Idaho. Beyonce, 24 points, 15 rebounds. Natalie Klinker she played 22 minutes and got a double-double, 10 points, 11 rebounds. It was great to see that. Again, and good to see the minutes slowly starting to ramp up again. I don't say ramp up, but it's getting playing more minutes again and again. Gina Markson only had 9 points, 5 assists, but it was still like she made the play. She made, maybe to me, she still made plays even that didn't go on the stat sheet. They didn't go on the stat sheet. And then another player that made, I know I don't give her the credit that she deserves, but today I don't give her the credit. I know although she plays a lot when available. I know Haley Christopher had a hell of a game as well. 6 points, 4 rebounds, and 4 blocks, which in a close game like this one was, that can make the difference between a win and loss. And it was good to see her as kind of the sixth, kind of that next player out, the first or second player off the bench getting the meaningful minutes with Ellison Kirby. And look, they only used 8 players or so today. It was kind of the show that they can have the conditioning to be able to play. Only have to play 7, 8 players and still get a good game out of everybody and get those nitty gritty victories that are going to be those 1, 2 point, 3 point games in the game down at the end of the season coming up, and also in the tournament. Those games do happen from time to time. And Make sure I've got this right. It was just a different type of game this time around. Next up for Idaho, they play Montana State and Bozeman. Montana State and Bozeman on the 25th and 27th. There is one note though. There is maybe a chance there's the first football game is next Saturday, so there's a chance I might be live, might not, depending on the time after the game and how much time I have before the football game. If I'm not live, I will try and tweet, at least give the listeners my thoughts on my account, not the Tubbs account. Again, my account is at Hemi_71. And thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers for, as always, helping us support the podcast, as always. And now it's time to play us out with the best band in all the land of the beer song. Go Vandals.